If you oversee a team, if you are a nurse manager, a director, the CEO, CNO of a hospital, your team matters because these people are not only taking care of the patients that are filtering in through the front doors of an ER, but they are there to rely on each other when things escalate because they do. It's healthcare. A lot of people ask for ER stories, and I have one for you, but heads up, before you watch this video, I want you to know that the story is pretty heavy, and unfortunately, it will resonate with a lot of people who are not only ER nurses, but frontline responders like firefighters, paramedics, and police officers, just to name a few. When I was a new nurse in inner city Chicago ER, I was sitting at the front desk, and this role is called the greet desk, and I was the greet nurse, and I'm the first person that the patient sees when they check into the ER. And this particular shift, a patient walks right up and they put their hand into their pocket while maintaining very direct eye contact with me. Don't say anything. They pull their hand out of their pocket, put their hand over my desk, and drop bullets onto the front desk, all over my keyboard. This patient said to me while they were dropping bullets on the front desk, "I want to kill people." Before I could even register what was happening, the gravity of the moment, how intense this person was staring at me, the clink of each individual bullet, because there were tons of them that fell out of their hands onto the keyboard. The security officer at the front desk of the ER put his body between the patient and me and physically moved this person off to the side. And the security officer was patting down this patient, making sure they were safe, not a threat, before they let this person check in. It was terrifying. I remember not knowing what to think or how to process that. I'd never had my life threatened like that before, but this happens all the time in the ER. I can tell you tons of stories just like that, where my life was threatened very directly, and where, thank the universe, hospital security was present, or other nurses were present, or doctors were present that stepped in. There is an ecosystem in the ER. We really rely on each other. Healthcare is a team sport. Thank God I had a fantastic team when I worked in that inner city Chicago ER, because it was hard. It was hard. There was a lot of violence that came through, and we were always contacting the police. Firefighters were always in and out of the ER dropping off patients. And I really relied on my team because we were there for each other when things escalated, because inevitably they always did. And when I say that healthcare is a team sport, this is why. Because I don't know what would have happened if that security officer didn't physically put his body between the patient and me. And I'm sharing all that because healthcare is a team sport. And if you are not a team player, your life is going to be really hard, and that might be really dangerous. And if you oversee a team, if you are a nurse manager, a director, the CEO, CNO of a hospital, your team matters, because these people are not only taking care of the patients that are filtering in through the front doors of an ER, but they are there to rely on each other when things escalate, because they do. It's healthcare. Things happen. So here are 3 ways you can support your team from any leadership level. It's going to look different from CNO to CEO to nurse manager, but the principles are the same. And I'm sharing this as someone who still currently works in the frontline role, but has also worked with executives as a leadership coach, and also someone that has facilitated conversations on conflict and navigating communication breakdowns for international teams. Here we go. 3 truths to live by if you are in healthcare leadership. Truth number 1, kindness matters more than niceness. Here's what that means. When you think of someone who's nice, a lot of times the word polite comes to mind, or emotions over outcome. And in healthcare, of course, being polite matters, being tactful matters, but people value the truth and direct communication. In the ER, I'll speak from experience, a lot of times there's not time for feelings. We have to get things done because we want to make sure the patients get what they need, and things need to be done timely. So that clear, direct communication is kind. Can it be uncomfortable? Absolutely. 100%. It could be really uncomfortable, especially if you're someone who has people-pleasing tendencies. But if you know that a change needs to happen, or if you are in a position to give somebody feedback, or in a position to hold somebody accountable for the betterment of their own professional practice, or for patient care, or the betterment of the team, I would be willing to bet that people want to know if they have an opportunity to improve over politeness, because that is where psychological safety starts, through clear and direct communication. So truth number one, if you have an opportunity to be clear, that is kind. In the words of Brené Brown, clear is kind. People actually value clear communication. Number two, if you notice an issue, try to do something about it right away, because avoiding it will not solve it. For instance, if you're a nurse manager and you have two people on your team that are just not getting along, if you notice that they're coming into your office more, they're complaining about each other. This happens a lot with charge nurses too, or people who oversee the flow of entire departments. Is that an opportunity to say to those people, I might not be the right person to fix it. Do you want to have a conversation between yourselves? Do you want me to facilitate something? Or what do you need me to do here to make sure this is resolved as quickly as possible? And I'm going to say this in a very, very scientific way. When people are beefing at work, they are not focusing on things that require attention. I've seen this time and time again, hundreds of times throughout my career. When people are fighting, they're focused on the negative emotions between each other, not on the job that needs to get done. And it takes away from patient care, and the rest of the team is impacted. People feel that tension. So if you're in a position to de-escalate tension within the team, please jump on it right away. Those unaddressed conflicts have a really terrible way of growing and festering and becoming really, really bad very, very quickly. So I'm speaking from personal experience here. I thought that sometimes if I leave people to navigate their own stuff, it would be fine. Sometimes it worked out, most of the time not. So whatever that issue is that you've maybe been hoping just resolves, you are in a position to navigate it. It'll be worth it, I promise. This last point number 3, feeds off the previous 2 points. Because this last one in leadership is the truth if you're looking to build trust with your team and to support them, but then also make sure that everybody's reaching the same goals. It's not about comfort at the end of the day. Of course, you want people to enjoy their jobs. And also, sometimes facilitating or initiating those really challenging conversations will feel tremendously uncomfortable. It will feel so icky. You'll feel your heart rate spike. You'll feel your palms get sweaty. You'll actively try to avoid it. But that's where growth happens. A lot of times in leadership, when you're looking to encourage better dynamic between your team, trying to support them, it is through those uncomfortable conversations that growth will happen. After that event where I had to debrief with my leadership team about what happened, I had to very clearly state that I felt really unsafe at the front desk. I had to ask for measures that were really hard because I was a newer nurse and I had never practiced advocating for myself like that before. But in that moment, I knew it wasn't just about me, but it was about like my physical safety, but all the other nurses who sat at that front desk that would be on the receiving end of the conversation that I had. It was not comfortable. It was really uncomfortable. And I'm so happy that I had that conversation because changes did happen, because it was documented and I really pushed myself to be an advocate and to be an annoying advocate until I saw changes happen. And that was nurse leadership at the frontline level. If you are a nurse manager, if you're a director, if you're a CNO, CEO, there's an opportunity to support the team through a lot of other conversations and ask your other leaders, like, what aren't we talking about that would make impacts here? And those conversations are uncomfortable, but they really matter. I hope that you and I hope that your team don't have to go through what I did and a lot of other nurses have gone through, where their lives were literally threatened and they have to rely so heavily on other teammates to get things done. Unfortunately, this is a reality that nurses face. I can talk to any other nurse and all of them have stories about how their lives were either verbally threatened or how they've been physically abused by people. It's on TV shows like The Pit. And if you look up Reddit threads or any nursing Facebook group, you will find stories about where people have been physically assaulted and verbally assaulted. Nurses rely on their teams. And if you're in leadership, they're relying on you. And that doesn't mean that you have to shy away from the tough conversations. It means you could support them through honest and clear communication about things that you can do for them to support them. And if you can't do certain things, what else you're looking towards. If you're in a position of leadership, my hope is that you can have some of these conversations with your team because they want to do the right thing and they do rely on each other and you are their captain. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. My name is Adrianna Munoz. I am a professional speaker on navigating interpersonal conflict within healthcare, and I also am an ER nurse. I love nursing. I will share leadership tips, tricks, and scripts about navigating conflict because I know it's really hard. And I read all of the comments. So if you have any questions, feedback, concerns, leave a comment. I'd love to connect with you. And I hope you have a fantastic day.